Hey guys, welcome back. It's Ace Match time here on the SC2 ANZ Pro League brought to you by GameStar. I am hyped. Death, are you hyped?
Oh yeah, man. We've got a TVP against, sometimes they're cementing themselves as the best two players in our region, and we've got it as an ace match for their first ever match of this ANZ Pro League. This is such a fitting way to end the night, to be honest. And look, I have absolutely no idea who's going to win this. I'm just going to say that now. Like, I could not give you a prediction. Even if you put a gun to my head, I'd be like,
No.
like a non-committal response.
It's impossible to tell. Both these guys are WCS champions in our region, and pretty obvious picks as your aces, to be honest. So I don't know, man. I don't even have like a head vote and a heart vote here. Either one could take it. It's on Abyssal Reef, which is a map everyone's very comfy on by this stage.
Yeah, it's a great map to have as the ace because it's probably the map that these players have played the most amount of times, and they would have by far the most experience on it, and therefore like it kind of stands to reason that we're going to see the best game, or at least that's what I hope. And it's going to be cool to see how Probe reacts to a player like Seither, who's generally very aggressive in the matchup now that Probe doesn't have the mothership core. So things like shield batteries and mineral lines, cannons, we'll see if the army compositions are different, but it's a whole new ball game. And likewise for Seither, I mean, who knows? Maybe he's got something nice and quirky kind of lined up for this.
Yeah, soon find out. The players are ready to rock and roll, so let's get this countdown started. Because it's gonna be awesome. I know a lot of Terrans have some feelings about TVP at the moment, and
not all of them positive.
That's a bit of an understatement, yes. Unless you don't follow forums and Twitters and whatnot. So I'm keen to see how Seither handles the more negative aspects of the TVP matchup, especially against a tyrant like Probe. But without further ado, guys, we're loaded in to Abyssal Reef. Let's get this underway for the final time tonight. In the bottom right, representing SYF, this is Seither.
And up here in the top left, playing for Team Legacy Esports in the blue, is Probe. Alright, so we've already got something to talk about, Zeph. This is going to be a proxy Rax. Probably Reapers. And I feel like this sort of build, especially the Reaper now, is going to be more effective now that the Mothership Core can't come out and cast Overcharge on a pylon and two-shot the Reaper. So there will be a different interaction here. Now, will Probe go straight for an expansion? I mean, the answer is probably yes. And so we might see some cool moves, depending on whether he gets a Stalker out first or a Adept out first. Seither going double gas though as well behind it, so he might commit so heavily to the forward push. He could build a factory there, he could build a starport and just go all in.
Yeah, he certainly could. And now Probe scouted straight away. So he has come in here seeing, okay, there's no racks, there's gas. Pretty obvious that this guy is playing dirty right now. So back at home, he's grabbing his own second gas, going into that cyber core. Now, does he go find that proxy? Like, is there value in doing that?
What? A tech lab? Is this proxy Marauder? I suppose it could actually work now that you don't have Photon Overcharge, but I mean, I haven't seen this build in years. At least not against Protoss. This was how we used to love it. Yeah, we used to love opening like this in Wings of Liberty. Builds like 2 racks, like an aggressive 2 racks with fast stim was really strong and really powerful for a little while. And it could be really cool if we get a whole new kind of era of different builds that we haven't seen in a while. There's no concussive shells yet though.
Yeah, not just yet. And the Probe has got the location of this madness. Seither. And that bunker's going to start going down at the natural location here. Meanwhile, Probe has made a shield battery or 2 around the place. One to protect his probes and a couple near the ramp, so that's going to be a nice spot to back up to when he's trying to micro against this aggression from Seither. And in the background, he's also got that Robo coming up.
The thing that's really cool for me about this is Probe's expansion is going to be really delayed. And Seither, he can make units out of his factory and starport. He's starting with the Cyclone. He could go into tanks. He could even make a Liberator if he wants to, and he could fortify this position at the front if he gets enough time. But then Seither can also expand, so this doesn't have to be all in at all.
Yeah, that's kind of the ridiculous thing, right? And it's going to be a little bit annoying to clear this for Probe here. He's only taking shield damage so far, though, so playing that pretty
good.
Yeah. Well, this Drax is going to get a nice scout off for the Stalkers to shoot it down out of the sky, of course. So giving him a little bit of extra vision. And behind this, he's gone into a Cyclone. He's also grabbing himself a Liberator. So he can really make things difficult for Probe in the early stages of the game here.
Yeah, good luck getting down your ramp when there's a Liberator there with a couple of Marauders in a bunker. Really crazy. I haven't seen this situation before. The Immortal's now out though, and the Immortal will probably allow him to take down this bunker. And Seither not focus firing down the Stalkers, which is probably a mistake because all of these Marauders will just get cleaned up before he can even kill a Zealot.
Thank you, based Immortal.
Yeah.
Making that a lot easier than it might have otherwise been. The Rax did distract for a little while, but the Liberator can't do any sort of gross siege up position in that natural location. It can, however, just park itself comfortably over that oversaturated probe line, though. And at home, he actually doesn't really have anything to deal with that. He's walked in one Stalker. And that's fine, it will eventually kill it, but not very quickly, so he is at the very least going to lose some mining time if he pulls away right off the bat.
Yeah, Protoss can also get into a tricky situation when, like, some of these Liberator spots can be very brutal to deal with. The tank is now out defending the low ground for Seither. And how many probes is he going to be able to get? He focus fires a couple of them down. That shield battery is doing work, though. The Liberator does go down.
And in the meantime, Probe is starting to take some hot shots. Oh, let's get that Cyclone. With the siege tank and the repairs, he's not really able to do anything here. What he can do is this sort of soft contain for the moment until Seither tries to press the Q and really use those siege tanks to push out here. And behind this Probe is actually going into the is that going to be a Colossus Den or is it going to be a Disrupted Den?
Probably Colossus.
Mm-hmm.
But Colossus won't be too impactful in this early stage of the game, so it won't really allow him to push forward, at least not against these Liberators and tanks. But what it will do is make him very comfortable back at home to defend, because you can kind of walk up and down the cliffs with those Colossus. You can defend a third base very easily, so Probe could take a third almost straight away after this natural is saturated, unless he wants to go for something crazy and try and end the game straight away. Like, as I say that though, he is choosing the Disruptor. I haven't seen too much of the use of the new Disruptor.
Yeah, well, I was actually going to ask if this might be a possibility. So it turns out when you drop a Warp Prism full of Disruptor goodness on a Terran army, it can be quite a nice outcome for the Protoss players. They get a solid shot off. Now, he doesn't really have a clump of fire or anything here on the side of the map, so excuse me. There's not anything juicier than maybe some TVs that he could hit, I suppose, but nonetheless, having Disruptors on the field is going to be great. Like, Seither, I'm not sure he can even really put any aggression on at the moment. Probe is just getting more and more ahead by the minute because he's got that expansion out, he's got more workers, and he's got a pretty good idea of what Seither has on the field at home.
It looks like Probe's going to be gearing up for a third base too. This Warp Prism does have speed and it's barreling across the map. There's no Vikings out for Seither, so it's not like it's going to be easy for him to take out that Warp Prism. Oh, sorry, he does have one Viking, but even then, Warp Prism can just kind of run away. But here we go. How much damage can he get done?
Do that. Alright, cool.
Decent start, not bad.
Maybe maybe 3 or 4 there, and LOL, good joke. Have fun trying to catch up with that Viking and Liberator. So he just pops on out of there. He can swing around to the main.
Yeah, sure can. Blink coming out from Probe as well. So I love Blink, especially with the new Stalkers. We'll pick up another SCP. Very annoying for Seither. Like, well, do you invest in missile turrets and things like that, or do you maybe get a couple more Vikings? It looks like he's got his Liberator position around the left-hand side of the map to harass again. But I'm just not sure that Seither's going to be able to find any damage with that, and he's going to be really careful. He can't afford to be losing too many more workers.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to spread yourself enough to be able to take out either the Warp Prism or the Disruptor, or at least prevent it from getting into that SCV line. It looks like he's slowly starting to solidify that position now, but this corner here is just being in the sweet spot for Probe. No matter what, you can get in here, pick up a worker or two, and get out with that range pickup on the Prism, and it's just too speedy to take out. So this is really pinned Seither at home, even if he wanted to move out with what he had. And in the meantime, Probe's got himself a 3rd base and 11 working.
Yeah, great worker lead. He's going for double upgrades. He's going into Colossus and Zealot legs now as well, so not committing too heavily to the Disruptors, just using them for harass, which is kind of Probe's style, I suppose. He likes to get something that he can use to annoy his opponent and then just expand and go for the ultimate Protoss army. It does it really, really well. It's one of the WCS.
Yeah, it's definitely one of his strengths as a player, and at this point his production's about to ramp up again, dropping 5 more gates, 4 upgrades on the way, and Seither's reached the point where he's had enough. He's going to move out here and see what he can do. Okay, he's not able to get a Disruptor shot there from Probe, but he's moving out here with 5 tanks and a bunch of Bio. This is really his last hope. That main is mined out. That natural's really not going to win him the game here either, so he's got to make it happen with what he has on the ground.
He doesn't quite have to win the game here, but he does have to do a lot of damage because he'll need to float his main out to the 3rd base. But Probe is not going to make it so easy. One of the Colossus getting quite wounded there. The War Prism, though, is still in the background. Probe's very good with the Micro. Nice Disruptor shot going off there. The Immortal doing a lot of damage to the Marauders and the Cyclone as well. Seither is not even in supply. His army is still a little bit bigger, and these tanks can kind of inch their way forward. Could be enough.
Yeah, the Colossus is making this a little bit difficult, but one of them is very wounded. Luckily, the third is about to pop out here, and this position for Terran Siege tanks is still so annoying for any race to deal with. Stuff in there. So he's actually doing a good job, but Probe is starting to look for a way to break through this. He's still got more economy to play with behind this, but Seither's going to load his main over to that 3rd base and start mining there. Starting to take out some probes of his own on this side of the map.
Yeah, he is. The Disruptor goes down in the back, and Probe is going to try and clear out the Terran units. The tanks are doing a lot of damage, though. Focus Fire goes down in the Immortal. Fantastic moves and fantastic micro from Seither. He's really holding on here. That was absolutely beautiful. 5 tanks left over, and he's looking to push into the natural. I'm not sure that Probe now actually has enough to defend after sacrificing so much of his army.
This is actually looking pretty bad for Probe. What he has left is very bruised. He's only got 1 force field left in the mix there, I think. And this natural base is actually under attack, and he can't stop it from going down, I don't think.
Oh my god!
Firepower from the Terran here. Seither's working some serious magic.
Oh, that he is, and Probe is now down about 35 supply. Seither's got his main, he floated that out to the 3rd base, so his economy is still looking very, very good. Now that he's finished off that natural base, he's going to start to collect his units again in the middle of the map and look to go and harass that 3rd. If Probe loses that 3rd base, you've got to think that that's going to be the game.
It's got to be. I mean, Seither has so much more on the ground than I kind of thought he would, and it was a really hard position to break. Probe is actually now going around the army, so I think he's almost definitely going to lose that 3rd base at this point because he's not in position to defend that. He's been squeezing out another Liberator tube, Disruptor tube. At the same time, Liberators are going to be coming out for Seither and joining the parade here. 1 Disruptor shot goes off on the south there, and Probe trying to use these Colossi to start sizzling away this Terran army. Isn't going to be enough. 1 Colossus goes down on the high ground, and there's still so much fire left for Seither.
This is it. Seither is going to win the game for SYF Gaming and take down Probe. Plummets down to 50 supply. GG!
Gee. Seither closing out the win for SYF. What a win there.
That looked a little bit dicey for a while, man. But, God, Seither just showed such a mastery and such a control of that army. You know, pushing up.
Yeah.
It felt like maybe Probe overcommitted like one or two more Colossus than he should have. He would have actually had a better time if he, hell, even went into Void Rays against Seither's composition. Seither only had like 5 Marines, and the rest of it was basically Marauders, Tanks, and Liberators. And just a lot of anti-armor damage.
Yeah, so much firepower in that army, and that really sealed the deal for him. So, Seither tweeting about Dota 2 just now, so clearly he's been practicing hard to beat
he's got to get that Dota MMR up, man.
That's it. That's the key to having peak performance in StarCraft 2.
Yeah. Big congratulations to SYF Gaming taking their first win of the ANZ Pro League, brought to you by Blizzard and GameStar. We're going to be casting the other match. What is that? Downfall versus 1F Pro, and that's going to be cast from replays at a date to be confirmed. But we will be showing you those matches, so you haven't missed out, even though we're not showing them live tonight.
Yeah, don't spoil them for yourselves, guys, because we will aim to throw that up on stream at some point to make sure that we cover all the matches. There is, I think, a couple of matches going on at the same time in one of the final weeks, so we'll do the same thing there to make sure you don't miss any of the teams. So this is going to be going on every Tuesday and Thursday night for about a month. So there's plenty more games to come. These teams are all going to be playing in round robin to try and get that share of $3,500 US dues that is in the prize pool. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you've enjoyed the broadcast tonight and that you'll tune in for Thursday night as well, when we'll be back on same time, 7 p.m. AEDT for the next round of matches. Any final words from you, Death?
Like I said before, just a big shout out for Blizzard and GameStar for making it happen. Another big shout out to the teams that have really come together and banded together. There were no issues with player availabilities or anything like that tonight. It was just really smooth straight off the bat. So it's good to see that commitment. I'm loving that we've got more of a continuous tournament schedule in our region. And it just makes me so happy, just happy to the core that we've got some StarCraft in a period or a time of the year which generally gets a little bit dry.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm so excited that it's a team league, because we haven't had like a proper Blizzard team league or anything with
First
a really
of its kind.
Prize pool. Yeah. So this has been awesome, guys. Of course, if you've got any feedback as well, let us know, because hopefully this is the first of many more tournaments. We'll see how it goes. It's been a really fun night tonight, so thank you again so much for all of you who have tuned in, the players, to GameStar for putting on this production, and for Blizzard giving us that sweet prize pool as well. So that will do it for us tonight, guys. We'll see you on Thursday, 7 p.m. AEDT for the next round of matches. Don't miss it, and we'll see you next time.